Right.
I love it.
Hey, we live now. This is your boy Ray. This is the Alston Collab Money Talk. Happy Wednesday. Happy Hump Day.
Woo.
We are streaming live on the Fishbowl Radio Network, live in beautiful Arlington, Texas. And today I have a very, very special guest that's live in the studio with me, Miss Joi Bowers.
Hello.
How you doing, ma'am?
I'm doing grand. I'm excited to be here. You have the dopest view ever.
If
y'all could see this view, he has a view of Arlington Six Flags in his radio station.
Yes.
Like, it is the dopest view ever.
Yeah, I feel fortunate and blessed and, to be here in this situation. And I'm glad that you took time out of your day to join me. So I appreciate you for coming in. And again, this is my girl, Joi Bowers, entrepreneur.
Woo!
Yes.
Say it.
Yeah, Gary got to get some hand claps for that.
I like that hand clap.
Yeah, because I know that's not hard. So me and Joi, we've probably been knowing each other almost for like 10 years now, right?
Absolutely. 10 years. Hampton University. Shout out to
HU.
Woo-woo.
What's up, everybody?
And you know when I met you? I can tell you when I met you.
For real?
Yes.
I don't remember.
It was July 20th or something like that. I know exactly.
Right around
Miracle's birthday.
Okay.
And y'all was dumping through the harbors. And then y'all stopped. It was like, what up? I'm like, what's up?
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, it's just been real genuine friendships. Real
Right
genuine friendships.
Yeah, for sure. Because when did you move to Texas?
I moved to Texas, so I consider myself a Hamptonian all the way, but I took the leap of faith and went to culinary school the second semester of my junior year at Hampton.
Really?
Yeah, and went to culinary school in Virginia Beach.
Okay, I feel like I may have known that.
Yeah, walking around campus with my chef jacket on.
Right. She is a chef, by the way. If you're watching us on Facebook, I already got that information up there. Make sure you like her on Facebook, Enjoi Meals. Check her out on Instagram, too. But my bad, go ahead. Culinary school.
Yeah, I went to culinary school second semester junior year. I just had this epiphany and was just like, I can't do it anymore. Like, I'm tired of reading about Alice Walker. I'm tired of reading about Susan Lloyd Parks.
Who was that?
I was an English major. I got my undergrad in English.
Okay.
So I just said, you know what? I need to do something that's going to heighten my tangible skills right now. I need to feel something.
Yeah.
And so I decided to go ahead and go to culinary school. And then after culinary school, my mom flew in and said, let me talk to you for a minute. I know you didn't finish your culinary school or whatever.
Right.
But you need to go and finish that degree too.
Okay.
So I flew down to Arkansas, Little Rock, Arkansas area. University of Arkansas, Pine Bluff. Shout out to those golden UAPB. Shout out to those Golden Lions.
Black and gold.
Yes. And finished my undergrad there, English degree. Okay. And then my parents ended up moving here to Houston.
Okay, right on.
My mother head of a major medical corporation, she's in the medical field. And I said, cool, boom, y'all, I'm done with school. Right. My dad was like, yeah, you're not going back to Detroit. Okay.
Oh, yeah. So that's where you're originally from, right?
Yes, Michigan. Glove State. Shout out to that Glove State.
Detroit, yeah.
My father, I'm a Cox kid, so my father was like, nah, you're not going back to Detroit right now. And that was just when the economy had failed. Mm-hmm. He was just like, I can't sleep at night knowing that you're in Detroit without me and your mother there. So you're going to come to Texas. So came to Texas.
That's a good choice.
Yeah, came to Texas. Fell in love with Houston.
Hey, H-Town, baby.
Fell in love with Houston. Shout out to Houston.
Texas boy.
Fell in love with Houston, and then yes, and then some entrepreneurial opportunities took me to Austin after Houston.
Yes.
And then after Austin, I came to Dallas, and I just celebrated my 1-year anniversary in Dallas, May 30th.
Awesome.
So I'm here in Dallas now. I love Dallas.
I dig that. Yeah, Dallas is dope. So I kind of want to backtrack a little bit. Before you went to culinary school, when did you first say, man, I really love cooking. This is something I want to, I maybe make as a career or even a business, which we'll get to that as well. But when did you first develop the love for cooking?
So, I mean, as cliche as it sounds, right? I know that people have tangible skills. Like, those are the skills that you can put your hands on.
Right.
You can barter and trade for. Yeah. You can say, this is what I do. You can pay me for it. I knew at a very, very young age that I had a gift.
For cooking?
So, yes. And you can ask my mother. Look, my mother is one of the first people on there on that live feed.
Hey, Mom.
Hey, Mom. I've always been cooking.
Really?
Always.
At what age did you start cooking?
I was as quick as I can. So let's back up. I've always been an eater. Okay.
Me too.
My mother, my
Me
father,
too.
not young parents, but 30s, making it in the corporate America. They always would let me order the most expensive, unique thing on the menu. Mm-hmm. Even if I didn't eat it, just developing my palate at a very young age. And then I come from a family of cooks. Shout out to Uncle Ed, makes the best cha-cha. We country, we from Woodson, Arkansas. So makes some of the best cha-cha.
What is cha-cha?
Cha-cha is, have you ever seen like pickled cauliflower and like peppers, and they use it in a mason jar sitting on the table and people pour it over their greens? It's like pickled.
I can remember something like that.
Well, that's cha-cha. All of my uncles are great cooks. My auntie Beverly ran you know how you have truck stops that are known for like the dopest food? She ran a really great truck stop. Mm-hmm. So just coming up, and then the major influence, I have a blog that I write on about my culinary travels throughout life, about my Nana. My Nana, my first experience with food, and the first time Nana, who was one of the sweetest women, if you ever met her, Mary Lynn, that's where I get my name from, she popped me and she said, if you're going to peel my potatoes, boo, let me show you how to do it right. Yeah. And because she was peeling them with a knife. It wasn't a peeler. She had one of them little knives, and I was tearing them potatoes up. By the time I got done, the potatoes started out this big, about like this big. After I got done, she was like, no, ma'am. Right. You're not going to do that. Mm-hmm. And then another influence I would think is my parents were working parents. My father being a police officer, he worked crazy hours. My mother traveling the world and the country doing diversity leadership and training. Right. If it was left up to my older brother, we would have been eating Little Caesar pizza all day long. Right. So I'm like, nah, look, bro, let me bake this chicken. We're going to eat this. So being a latchkey kid, being exposed to a lot of diversity growing up, and knowing that I could taste something, and I think I'm very gifted. I can taste something and duplicate it. Really? Yeah. So you can like taste like all the flavors in there. Absolutely. See, I'm still, because I love to eat too, so I start just cooking and experimenting and trying different stuff just because I love to eat. And I've learned how to do different recipes. I see something on Tasty and like, man, I'm going home and make that. Yeah. Right. But one thing that I really, really hate doing, and I kind of want you to just tell me about this going to culinary school and how they teach you that, or when they teach you that, is like prep work and cutting stuff. Mm-hmm. There's an art to how you cut it, and I'm still learning that. Can you just talk about that a little bit? Absolutely. I hate prep art. Yeah, really. So culinary term is mirepoix, right? Your mirepoix is everything that you need to, everything that you need, and it's like your base. So usually your mirepoix is your onion, your celery, your carrot, and that's usually the base for everything. Depending on what region you are in the country or the world, shout out to Louisiana and the Gulf area, their mirepoix consists of, red onion. I'm sorry, not red onion, but onion, red pepper, bell pepper. So it's a base for like a lot of their gumbo and their stewed items. So your mirepoix is just being able to being able to have that base to most of your dishes. I would say that my biggest struggle with mirepoix, or like your prep work, is knowing what you're gonna cook, having the end result, and working backwards. Right. So you know what you're going to cook, and then you work backwards. So if I know that I'm going to, for example, I know everybody's seen this new movie. What the Health? Nobody's eating meat and everything. I haven't saw it. I don't want to like mess up like my whole perception of it. So I already know what they can say, but so I'm not going to watch. I do need to eat better, and we'll talk about that as well. But if you know that you're going to have a few dishes that are using the same sauces or using the same cooking techniques, whether you're baking chicken and then you're roasting some things, right? I know that I can still use those roasted red potatoes with the roast and that chicken at the same time. So I'm going to cut enough or chop up enough or prep enough to make sure that I have enough for both of those dishes. Right on. I reuse sides. So if I have made white rice or jasmine rice, because I'm a jasmine rice fan. If I use jasmine rice. Cilantro? Yeah, cilantro, right? That's cilantro rice. If I've used jasmine rice for just say some baked chicken, the next day I may not want that baked chicken. I'm gonna pull the meat off of that baked chicken and make chicken fried rice the next day. Add some soy sauce, use those same veggies that I had in that baked chicken dish, and then reuse it and make it another dish. Man, that sounds good. That sounds real good. All I had to eat today was some fruit, so I'm gonna be probably hungry. I had some coffee. I had some coffee too. So.
Went to culinary school. Your parents relocated to Houston.
Mm-hmm.
Did a brief tour in Austin. Now you're in Dallas. When, during that process, did the birth of Enjoi Meals come about?
So, Enjoi Meals, first, it's an Enjoi company, right?
Okay, my bad.
No. It's Enjoi Meals is a tier of Enjoi company. Enjoi company is a mother company. I say I'm in procurement. People say, what is Enjoi company? I'm in procurement. I procure all things, people, places, food, and things, right?
Say that one more time.
I'm in procurement. You know what procurement is, right? Procurement when so when you have a major corporation, you have a person that works in procurement who gets things for them. Usually shipping companies, they outsource or find individuals to do that job or get that thing or get that item for their company. I consider myself that, as well as a social architect, and my way of creating conversations with individuals is through the rhetoric of food. I'm able to gather people, organize people, and create conversations around food. So say, for instance, I'll take you. You want to do an entrepreneur brunch, and it consists of, you want to bring people together. I would help you procure those people. Mm-hmm. I would execute your event when it comes to food. Mm-hmm. And I would create conversations around those food. Because what is the best way to let your hair down? It's not necessarily just over a drink, it's over eating as well, right?
Yeah, I want to eat something. I hate when a person ain't got no food.
I see my Uncle Leslie as well just tuned in. My Uncle Leslie makes some of the best wine, y'all. Shout out to Uncle Leslie in Boston. Makes some of the best wine that you have ever. He grows the grapes in his backyard. I mean, in his front yard. And if you know anything about Boston, like, your yard is this big.
Right.
And he's still growing grapes in his front yard and making some of the best wine. But yeah, Enjoi Meals. Yeah. It's just an avenue. So when you do a person.
When did you start it though?
When did I start? I started back in May of. Got the EIN number and everything.
Yeah, legit. That's when it's official.
That legit.
I remember that. Yeah, I remember going through the work, paying that money. Yeah, I'm like, okay, I'm official now. I go get me a bank account. Right, let's get paid.
That EIN number got official.
Right.
On the books, May of 2015. So when I got to Austin,
that's before me.
Yeah,
that was June of 2016.
Okay, I love Austin. Austin is the new Silicon Valley, as far as startups is concerned.
Yeah,
and I asked
they have that during the South by Southwest. They have a lot of tech startups. Mm-hmm. So a lot of people just think it's just the music, but it's like a whole nother.
And shout out to South by Southwest. I'm actually one of the crew managers for South by Southwest Hospitality. So shout out to Brandon for bringing me on board with South by Southwest and working with them for the last 2 years. But one of the things that I can say that Austin taught me was, I asked one of my kind of business mentors, why is Austin such a great startup place? They said because Austin allows for you to fail and start over again, try again, and better yourself. And I can truly believe,
Austin did.
Right? I truly believe that Houston gave me my entrepreneur oomph and swag and kind of got me like, okay, you can say I charge $100 an hour for my, for my chef check.
I'm saying confidently.
I'm saying confidently.
Yeah.
But then Austin let me fail, and really hone in and niche my business down. And Dallas is allowing me to perfect it.
I dig it. So every time I go down to Austin, I always stop by this one food truck. I cannot think of the name of it. I should know it, but it's Black owned. Okay. And they serve like wings, Philly cheesesteak.
Is it a pink food truck?
Nah.
Is it a woman? Okay.
Nah, I forget the name of it.
There's so many food trucks.
Firecracker fries that, oh my goodness, are amazing.
I'm going to have to check it out.
Every time I go down there, I do that.
And speaking of food trucks, that's where I bought my food truck.
In Austin?
In Austin, yeah.
Okay.
I bought my food truck in Austin, and my business model was really set up for Austin. And because right down the street from our home at the time, we were down the street from NASCAR. Mm-hmm. So NASCAR, I would pull up my NASCAR. You have access to thousands of people on every other Saturday or whatever festival was going on. And I was able to execute events off of my truck. And Austin also pushed me to get my food truck because I got an opportunity to work on set for American Crime. So I was one of the chefs on American Crime. Woo, talk about starstruck. Regina King, talking about who made the greens, and I'm like, me. or Andre 3000. I remember picking up the greens and just switching them out. He said, whoa, what you about to do with those? I said, I'm just switching them out. He was like, all right, because I was going to take them. I was like,
that's crazy.
Chef moment.
Yeah, awesome.
moments. But yeah, and when I went on set and I saw all of these, they call them head chef drivers because they're driving these big old semis that have been gutted out with these beautiful kitchens inside of them. So imagine a mobile kitchen inside of a semi bag, and he's making all this money. I said, I'm gonna buy me a food truck, and I'm gonna be contracted on one of these sets.
Yeah,
but then
there you go.
But then God brought me to Dallas, so. I'm taking a new path in Dallas. I'm teaching.
So you don't have the food truck no more?
I do have the food truck.
Okay.
I do have the food truck, but my business model wasn't set up for Dallas. Dallas has a lot of restrictions, permitting, licensing, and Dallas likes to couple their food trucks together. So right now you don't see in Austin. I could put my food truck up over there because this business has allowed for me to use their public restroom in their parking lot because it's a private owned property. Okay. Whereas in Dallas, they coupled them together, so they're all down in where's the Clyde Warren.
So you can't just post up somewhere and like
not really.
Like you can't go to like strip club and
I haven't asked to come to. I haven't.
Be having a barbecue man out there, and they be.
But he's running rogue. He's like rogue, like he's out there like.
And the barbecue man be in Uptown too when we coming out there on the back of a truck. So why can't you just pull your food truck up there like that?
It's not a pull up. My truck was designed to be a mobile kitchen. I wanted to be contracted out on set. I wanted to be contracted out somewhere. I planned and bought that food truck to do just that. Right now, my food truck is being used to execute events. Right now, I just recently did the jazz festival for the Links, for the Dallas the Dallas Fort Worth Links organization here, one of the oldest Black women organizations, African American women organizations in the country. And they had a jazz festival, brought us some major acts and artists and things of that nature. It was beautiful, and I use it as a teaching tool now for some of my students.
So you have students?
Yes, I teach at Dade Middle School. I teach culinary arts in South Dallas.
Hey, sunny South Dallas. You teach cooking at the school?
Yeah. It's one of 2 middle schools in DISD that has a culinary program, and I am blessed and thankful that I am teaching these kids a tangible skill, because one of the things I realized
that's what's up. Everybody have more school to have like different hands-on, tangible skills like you're talking about, like because everyone's not meant to just go to school and just go get a 9 to 5. Like people become chefs or work on cars. Like I push entrepreneurship in my classroom all the time and say, it's not saying that you don't need a degree. My father used to say, you get a bachelor's degree, 10 people listen to you. You get a master's, 50 people listen to you. Doctorate degree, you paying for everybody to listen to you. Yeah. And that's about it. And so I truly believe that if I teach in the way that the economy is, and the way that the world is, and the way that our leadership and presidential and everything is, you need to be able to say, if all else fails, this is what I can do for you. Heck yeah.
And this is what you can do for me.
Right. That's
and it may not be pushing papers in HR.
Right. So you already see yourself as an entrepreneur? I know you said in Houston. Okay.
Always been a hustler. Always been a hustler. My parents have modeled that. Even though they were in corporate America, we owned a bookstore. For about 8 years in Benton Harbor, Michigan. Shout out to Benton Harbor. We owned a bookstore and coffee shop for a really long time while I was probably from junior high until about my junior year of college. And then they owned a nightclub once. That's hilarious.
Amazing just to be brought up around that, because not a lot of minorities, a lot of people in general get brought up around entrepreneurs or families who run business. That's like a handful of people who get that exposure. So that's pretty dope.
And then even just like my uncle, he was raising dogs at one point, even country, horses, whatever it was. I was always exposed and always kind of pushed to say, yes, this is what you do for your 9 to 5 to make sure that your cable bill is paid on time, to make sure that this is paid on time. But at the end of the day, what will you get up every day and look forward to doing?
Right.
And I know that I'm doing that right now.
That's awesome. That's awesome, man. This is the Austin Collab Money Talk. I'm joined by Joi Bowers. We're talking food and her entrepreneur journey. I'm already feeling inspired. And just to kind of go back to one thing you said, because I wanted you to elaborate on that a little bit more, but I lost my thought. But you said you went down to Austin and it allowed you to fail. So just talk about some of the road bumps that you faced early on, your failures, and what you learned from it, and how you get to where you're at right now.
So I like to tell the story of I became an entrepreneur because I got fired. Flat out.
That happens to some people. Yeah, for real. Hey, if I said my job any longer, I probably would have got walked out too.
So college, I got recruited to work for one of the largest food corporations in the world. I'll just say that. And the way that they recruited me, they said, we want you to merge your love for food and your communication, English skills, and we're going to create this wonderful job for you. And da 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 da. I ended up being a manager, okay, at a store, and it was a big learning curve for me.
Really?
It was $100 million store. I was over one of the largest areas in that store, and it was a learning curve. Math was not my strongest suit. Inventory was not my strongest suit. I had never been exposed or had the accountability to care for or to manage so many staff members. It was just fresh out of college. I had over 100 employees, $100 million establishment, but not budget, but establishment, and I was sinking. Every day I was trying to catch up and tread. I was treading water.
Right.
And
I know how that feels.
And my boss came to me and he said, I really want to put you on a performance improvement plan to.
I've been on too.
So I'm so naive in the corporate America game. I'm like, Mom, he wants to help me improve.
That was like,
my
that's not
mom
a
was
good
like,
thing.
nah, baby, you need to find a job. You about to get fired, baby. You need to find a job. They about to fire you. I was like, no, Mom, he's giving me 3 months. He keeps scoring me real good. And, I'm going to do really well. And I'm really improving. Mom was like, nah, baby, you about to get fired. So walked into work. I was losing weight, like legitimately worried to go to work every day.
Oh, I know that feeling. That's
worried to go to work every day, and I just was not happy. And I walked into work. He said, and it was another lady there, and he was just like, "Yeah, can I get your keys?" I forgot my keys that day. That's how much I was just tuned out. I was like, "Yeah." Right, he handed me my check, and I walked away and I said, I'm probably not going to work for anybody anymore.
Ooh, I know that's right.
Probably not going to work for anybody anymore. Probably not going to go through that stress. And if I work for someone, it's because I cannot wait to get up in the morning and go to work. And that's what I've literally found with DIS in teaching. Absolutely. Right. Not just teaching, but teaching where I'm teaching. Right. These babies need me. Not even they need me. I need them as well. Yeah. Because everything that I have been moved to, everything I've been passionate about all my life, whether it's people and food and just the rhetoric of it and how I'm able to touch lives and move lives with food, I'm pouring into these babies every day. And I'm so thankful. I cry about it. I cry about it. Yeah.
I got to come up there next year and talk to him too.
Please, Miracle's been up there. She a couple of my students did a photo shoot for her. She's been up there to talk about entrepreneurship. That's just really much I based the class on. It's entrepreneurship. It's a lot of honing in on the skills that they already have and let me perfect them and smooth them over in the best way that I know how and mold you into some things that I see that you can do. Because I got a few of my students that if they weren't 13, 14, I would hire them.
Really?
Oh, absolutely. I got a baby right now. Baby can duplicate anything that I do. And if I tell her to do like that, just that real life gift that I can see that she has that I had at that age. So
that's amazing. So let's go ahead and talk about the food part. The food. So one of my favorite shows is Chopped. You watch that?
Yeah.
You don't like that show?
I'm not a big Food Network. I mean, I do like the Food Network. If y'all want to hire me, anybody work at Food Network,
right? Yeah, that'd be a dope job.
I do watch it, but it's almost kind of like a doctor watching doctor shows all the time. I'm not saying I'm a doctor anyway, or like I guess football players watch football.
Yeah, they probably do, but I'm sure they sometimes it's like, man, I need a break from football.
Yeah, need a break from it. But no, it's cool. I like culturally based food shows. So Anthony Bourdain. Parts Unknown or Anthony Bourdain, any of the things that he does, I absolutely love because he's really merging the culture in the food.
Right. Okay. So,
you watch Chopped?
Yeah, I like Chopped. Yeah, I like Chopped because I be trying to learn different things about cooking as well. So, like I said, I love to eat as well, and I've been cooking for probably at least since I got to college. I can cook a couple different things. It wasn't a lot, but one thing I'm kind of struggling with right now, maybe give me some tips, is at my mom's house, I'd be cooking maybe like a burger or, grilling something on the top, trying to sear maybe some fish. And it seems like the pans keep getting black. Now, her pan's cheaper. Am I doing something wrong?
It may be a combination of both.
Right, because she told me one of them, like, this one is expensive. Don't even put water in it or nothing like that.
Then she probably shouldn't use it. She probably just hang up and be for looks. But no, your pan or your skillet or whatever. I don't necessarily know. Is it a non-stick? Is it one of those like stainless steel looking pans?
One of them is like that, but I've done that, and I've done the other kind of they got the black top too in both of those, and I still sometimes
the pan's just too hot. But if you're cooking a burger, you need that good. If your food doesn't, when you put it down, then you're low key kind of like steaming and boiling your food, like because all the moisture is gonna come out of it, and then it's just gonna rise up on the pan like this, and you're just gonna have like this dome of moisture, and it's just gonna like a boiled, halfway seared boiled burger.
Right.
But I say temperature control is key. Your skillet, your tools, just like, if you're working on a car, if you don't have the right bolt or the right tool, you're gonna strip something or make something, or break something. So skillet. Walmart, I'm telling you, Walmart, HEB, Fiesta, whatever, they have some of the best pans. Like if you're on a pan on a budget, I don't think the most expensive pan is necessarily the best pan. KitchenAid, love a good KitchenAid. Shout out to Whirlpool if y'all want to sponsor somebody.
For real.
KitchenAid has great products. Love a good KitchenAid product. But I think it has to do with temperature control and is your meat cold or warm when you put it in there? Has the meat been kind of like sitting out? That's another question you should ask.
I think like I get out the refrigerator and then start seasoning it, and then it's on there not too long after that.
Okay.
Is that not good?
No, that makes a difference as well. Like if
really, how should it be?
Some of the best searing and like steak, some like steak tricks or whatnot is making sure it's really cold when not really? Frozen, but you right to the skillet after it's.
What about like a burger?
Same.
Real cold.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so I know you don't watch Chop that much, but one thing that I learned is that, a lot of different people have different type of styles. You got people that got the Southern comfort style, grill masters, people that come from Latin origins or things like that. What would you say your style of cooking is?
Globally inspired, Southern infused.
Globally inspired.
Yes. Because I will put a
Southern infused.
So, for example, some of the I do tacos, and locally influenced.
I forced one of your taco shots on there.
Was it chicken or was it the beef?
The curry.
Okay,
with the rice on there.
So it was curry chicken on a fresh tortilla with jasmine rice and cilantro cream sauce. So culturally influenced, right? Culturally influenced would be the curry chicken, and then the locally influence or infused as well would be the fact that it's a tortilla. You can't have a food truck and have no tortillas, no tacos on it in Texas.
Yeah.
What is this?
Right.
And then the globally inspired would be the jasmine rice. I have a lot of Indian flair, a lot of West Indian flair as well as Indian flair in my food, as well as one of the first high-end restaurants I've ever worked in was a Mexican restaurant. Really? It was a very high-end table-side service Mexican restaurant. And a little bit of Spanish that I do know, I picked it up there because my head chef used to say, we don't speak English before noon here, so you need to figure it out. So I'm like, mira, over here, this, all that stuff. I learned a lot of that there, but very globally inspired and culturally infused and in Southern infused food, because I'll put a Southern fried chicken taco on my truck in a minute.
That sounds real good. So globally infused or globally inspired. Have you got an opportunity to travel to some other different countries and talk about that?
I just came back from Puerto Rico and traveling around a couple of the islands. Puerto Rico. You gotta be
careful going down there and eating certain types of food. It didn't mess up your stomach. At least I felt that way. Like
drinking the water, maybe, but eating the food. I mean, food is food. I wouldn't just eat off of everyone. I don't believe that. I think that's just I don't believe that. I don't even want maybe the water, but sure, you get sick off of drinking some of the Detroit water right now. Right. Flint water. Yeah. But Puerto Rico, had one of the best little chicharrones, fried little pork thing with some cabbage that was mixed with you know what yuca is?
No, that's one thing I learned from travel. I don't know what half these foods are. There's so many foods that I don't even know what it is or how it tastes or anything. Sometimes I be trying to make some recipe that's all tasty, and they say, "What? What's the?"
You text me the other day. Remember you texted me that?
Oh, yeah. That actually turns out all right. I did that red snapper and I made this like little cream sauce with some cilantro.
He's like, yo, Joi, what can I substitute? What were you substituting it for?
I know I did the red snapper but I went to like literally before I text you, I went to like 3 or 4 different stores in this little area. They didn't have it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when I take that. I'm like, what can I substitute it for? And then I end up going to Whole Foods and they had it. And it was expensive.
Didn't I tell you? I was like, it's expensive.
Yeah.
It's like $24.99 a pound.
And I'm like, goodness
gracious. One fillet fish, man.
Right? It was good though. It was like a good piece of meat because I like the meaty type of fish.
Okay. But one of the things, so I've traveled around the country a little bit, but not even just traveling, living in the places that I lived. Mm-hmm. One of the things I realized about Texas is very black, brown, and white.
Yeah.
Very black, brown, and white. Houston had a large, like, Nigerian population as well as Indian population. Mm-hmm. But growing up in Detroit, which at one point, well, not in Detroit, growing up in Michigan, which had one of, I think, the country's 3rd largest Muslim population, mm-hmm. and Greeks, and just being able to grow up around, like, my best friend's mother was, they're Bayesian and Puerto Rican. Mm-hmm. Going to Boston, I went to high school in New York. I went to boarding school in New York. Okay. So going to boarding school in New York and being able to walk down the street and hit all these bodegas, and you know what I'm saying, and being exposed to all of these different things. I mentioned my Uncle Leslie is a real adventurous foodie person. So I've been eating like raw oysters and sushi and all that stuff as long as I can remember. Yeah. And just being able, like I said,
I don't like oysters.
I love them.
I don't like sushi or oysters. Like, that's 2 things I really don't like. And I'm really not a big fan of shrimp either.
I was just having this conversation. I don't really do shrimp. Shrimp is buggy to me. It's like I'm eating a bug. I'm very buggy.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, being able to live in the places I've lived, mm-hmm. travel the way that I've traveled at a really young age. Having my mother was the head of diversity. Right. So being the head of diversity for some major corporations, you travel around the country, you travel and or she'll have dinner parties, mm-hmm. and have, Myrna, with my mother's executive assistant, I think at the time, she was Puerto Rican and like Native American. I don't know. She was mixed with Puerto Rican and Dominican or whatever. And she would cook all these things and bring them to the office, and I would eat. I was always there trying to be like, "What's that? Let me taste that."
Yeah. I'm like, let me taste that.
So I think that was able to expand my palate and give me just my curiosity.
Yeah.
Curiosity. I've just learned, not really learned. I just started frying chicken.
Really?
Yeah. I'm not a fan of chicken really either.
Really?
It weirds me out. It does. Chicken is so weird to me.
So is there any place like that you want to go? Like, man, I haven't been there, and I've got to get there and try some of their food.
Absolutely. In another past life of mine, I truly believe I was an Asian person, Asian boy at that. And I Muay Thai boxed. But no, I want to go. When people ask you that question, team building, where would you be if you could be anywhere? Mm-hmm. I say I'd be fishing off the coast of Thailand.
Yeah, I want to go to Thailand too.
Muay Thai boxing in the afternoon. Yeah, and then fighting, and then cooking that fish later on that evening. Yeah. So I really, really want to get to Thailand, Fiji, over in that area. That's somewhere that I just know the flavors, the spices, the way that they cook their food. It's very quick, fast food. Mm-hmm. Everything is quick and fast. It's not really long, stewed out dishes that take a long time. I'm not a fan of that. That's why I'm not a baker. I need to touch and poke and look and flick my food while it's cooking. And so Thailand, Fiji, Cambodia, I make a bomb Cambodian dish. My cousin, my cousin is I'm speaking into existence, soon to be married to his wife. I just call her wife. She's been a part of the family for forever. They have the cutest little son. And she makes this Cambodian dish, and it's just beef and lettuce. And it's just beef, lettuce, and rice, but it's so good. But yeah, the spices, I'm a spicy person.
I like spicy food too. And one of my girlfriends, her friends, they're like Eritrean, and they make some.
Ooh.
Yes.
Yes. Remember we bumped into y'all at
Kung Fu.
Right. And I was like, they're Ethiopian. Nope, Eritrean.
Yeah, kind of like they're together though.
Mm-hmm. But so she's Eritrean as well.
Who? My girl?
Uh-huh. No. Her friends are. All of her friends were. Yeah. And do they cook for y'all?
They don't cook, but they like some of their family members cook.
Okay.
It's crazy because they really don't. But yeah. And some of their family members cooking. There's one restaurant they go to that's out there in North Carolina. I still haven't been. I really want to check it out though. Mm-hmm. Heck yeah.
One of the things that I found in Texas that I absolutely love, or just period, that we don't really talk about a lot. I know I'm kind of taking over your little show a little bit, but
no, you good. Yeah.
Let's put. I don't know if can I say anything?
Yeah.
Okay, so we go to the strip club and some of the best food we've had. Remember we went the other day?
Yeah.
It was so good.
Yeah, chicken fried steak was good.
Chicken fried steak was so good.
Yeah, a lot of strip clubs got the best wings.
Best wings, and there's the one in Houston that has some really good breakfast.
For real?
Yes, and they cook really late at night. So, after hours, you want that food. And I've had some of the best steak and eggs at this joint. And I worked in a gentleman's club. When I moved to Alston, I was working in a gentleman's club as one of their head chefs for the dancers.
Oh, yeah.
Because the dancers had a lot of meal restrictions. And they didn't want the same stuff off of the menu all the time. Mm-hmm. So, cooking takes you a lot of places. I've seen a lot of stuff.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Met a lot of people.
Yeah, that's amazing that you get to, travel and do what you love to do, which is essential.
Absolutely.
For real. So, you have like a go-to meal? Like, man,
Breakfast.
Breakfast?
I'm a master at breakfast. I can make an egg any way you want if you want an egg made.
For real?
And when they talk about, I want my egg over easy, over this, scrambled sauce, scrambled with cheese. I'm a connoisseur of breakfast. If I was to open up a restaurant, a brick and mortar, it would be a breakfast brunch spot.
Yeah. Already.
Matter of fact, I need to hit you up about some things. We're gonna we got some things.
Yeah, we need to collab.
I'm gonna speak it into existence. Y'all hold him to it. I would like to do a brunch here in Dallas.
Yeah.
A networking brunch. Not even a networking brunch, just not your average networking brunch, but I really want to do some brunch things here in Dallas.
I'm with that. I definitely, and Miracle had brought that up, so for real, like
Miracle needs to be sitting right here.
She for real. She a power.
She's what ties us together.
And yeah, but that's definitely something I want to do as well. So I'm with you. Before we wrap up here, is there any particular chefs out there that you were really inspired by that you may want to meet one day?
Chef Roble.
I think I've heard that name.
Yeah, he's a cool, funky, young Black chef who does a lot of the style. We have kind of like the similar style of food. Mm-hmm. And then Anthony Bourdain.
I've heard everyone like him.
I would fan out.
Really?
Fan out if I saw Anthony Bourdain. Mm-hmm. Like really fan out.
Does he have his own restaurants?
Restaurants, but more so he has a show that he's always had on like either the travel channel or not TLC, but the Travel Channel mainly. Mm-hmm. And he pretty much embeds himself in the culture and speaks from that space about food versus, let me show you these restaurants. Mm-hmm. It's like, no, if I'm going to go to Puerto Rico, he's going to get with the newest, hottest artists in Puerto Rico and have those artists show him where he should go. Not just meeting up with another chef, but, he heard that there was this one woman in, New Orleans making whatever. He's going to find her and have her show her around New Orleans through her eyes. And I absolutely feel I respect the integrity of food too much to impose my thoughts on someone else's culture, their traditions and everything. And so I really respect him for that.
It seems like food and culture and travel just kind
of
they just go together.
Absolutely.
For real.
I'm so happy I came today.
I'm happy you came too. She was like, can you send me some talking points? I'm like, you don't even need it. Like, this is your craft. This is what you do. Like, you don't need no talking points to talk about food and cooking. She's been doing great. So that's dope. Now, this one of my final questions before we wrap up here. I definitely appreciate you taking time out of your day. This is kind of a 3-part question, but it's the same question.
Okay.
Where do you see Enjoi Company over the next 12 months, 5 years, 10 years?
12 months, I see Enjoi Company, Enjoi Meals, branding myself here in Dallas. I think that branding takes time.
Yes, it does.
Especially when you have moved from one city to another city to another city. Saying, for example, you have like Miracle. Shout out to Upper Echelon Socks.
Hey, congrats, Miracle. I know you're doing big
things. Shout out. She's in a couple of stores and the World Trade Center now.
Yes, sir.
When you can go to a city and sell your socks are your socks, right? Mm-hmm. But to convince someone to let you put something in their mouth pun intended, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
is a little bit more convincing.
Yeah.
A little bit more branding.
There's so many food places out here.
Exactly. So that's what I've been not really struggling with, but just figuring out niching it down.
There you go.
I can cook in my sleep. Chefing is what I do, but I'm more about the people and creating spaces and creating environments for conversation over food. So I see myself really. So brunch is something that
I love brunch.
I am big on, and I'm you in the next year you will see a monthly brunch happening with Enjoi Meals, Enjoi.
I want to be a part of it. Let me sponsor one or something. Put my name up there.
Let's do it. Yeah. 5 years from now, I see myself doing food reform in the educational system. We
got to get away from this process, though.
Yes, man. I'm very. Shout out to Miss Obama, First Lady Obama and her initiatives and everything. Yeah. But it being palatable. I see what these students eat every day.
It's not good, right? That's why
It's not that it's bad. It's like it has the right amount of nutrition, has the right amount of those things, but it's not palatable.
What's that mean?
They don't want to eat it. It looks nasty. It tastes nasty. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it has the right amount of nutrients. It has the right amount of veggie content, all those things, but it's just not good. And really getting into these schools and saying, hey, let's teach these kids a craft, a art, a skill, and let's use this platform, let's use this cafe that we've maybe started in the school as a place for not only the staff, because I have 20 minutes to eat. By the time I drop my kids off downstairs,
she told me that. It's quick. It's real quick.
And being able to have a place, because eating it, you got to eat to survive. And so really doing reform in the school system when it comes to food and the things that we put in our bodies and what they're eating in the lunchroom, as well as having classes for them. We don't have home economics anymore. We're not teaching these kids, and a lot of these kids go home, and a lot of these kids are the only, especially where I'm teaching in South Dallas, this may be their only meal for the day.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? And I want to make sure when I'm putting in these babies' mouths is something, or the skills that I'm giving them is something that they can take home. We do a whole lesson on ramen noodles. Let me show you how to really make ramen noodles with these 99-cent pack of noodles, 10-cent pack of noodles that we have.
Right.
And 10 years, would you say 10 years?
10 years.
And 10 years from now, shoot, we sitting in Fiji. What you talking about? We sitting in Fiji and having that residual income coming in. And we don't have nothing else to do but
eat good food.
Fresh fish.
Right. So you would never see yourself being like a private chef or anything like that?
I do that now. I have a lot of clients. I mean, for me to have pretty bags and get my hair braided, I have a lot of clients out in South Lake.
Really?
Yeah.
So do you actually go to their house and cook?
I just did a baby shower last weekend. A lot of my clients, a lot of them are in their age range where they are kind of in their second retirement, and they're doing a lot of dinner parties and wine this and art this and this, and they can do they can do the small things, but they want me to come in and really do the heavy. The more heavier and the fulfilling items. So I do a lot of that. Okay. The Links keeps me very busy here. They keep me very, very busy.
You said the Links?
The Links, the organization, the Links. Here, they keep me very busy with their monthly meetings that I'll do brunch for them for their monthly meetings or any of the larger events. They do an annual tea party, and they raised, I believe, $100,000 this last tea party we did for UNCF, United Negro College Fund. So I do that with them.
Okay.
I like big contracts.
I think that's
what I'm saying. Like big contract I can sit on for a couple of months.
Yeah. So about that mobile chef, like
my food truck.
Yeah, the mobile, the food truck. But you say like doing to like the set of a TV series. Yes. Like, how would you get another gig like that or find another contract like that?
Putting bids out there. Matter of fact,
how do you hear about the bids? Or
word of mouth, talking. You're across from your kitty corner to the baseball field, right?
Yeah, it's right over here.
There's a diamond jeweler in there that hosts during the baseball games, and I go up there and do a gig for him. So there's a lot of gigs that I do. Right now I'm really focusing on my pop-up brunch.
You need to get that popping. Yeah.
Pop-up brunch is really I'm focusing on. And these babies, and so, like I said, I teach in South Dallas. This ain't just teaching, you know what I'm saying? I teach in South Dallas. So that takes up a lot of my time, and that's really where I'm putting my focus right now. The food truck is going to be the food truck, and my business model was to take it as a mobile kitchen, so I'll pull up when it's time for an event, but I'm not on the corner doing it as of right now. But I am investing in it, and I'm still invested in it. But these babies are what I'm really vested in right now.
Right on. I dig that. That's a good thing to be invested in, for real.
Thank you.
Hopefully you can teach a future professional chef.
Absolutely.
And,
Absolutely. Put me in the credits.
Yeah, absolutely. For real. So this is one thing that I've been doing with all my guests.
Okay.
I don't know if you caught it, any of my past shows, but it's basically just my rapid fire questions.
Okay.
You answer as soon as you can.
Let's go.
All right. So you talked a lot about brunch.
Okay.
What would be your favorite brunch item to make and eat?
I would make a salmon croquette with smothered potatoes and an egg over medium.
That's definitely Southern food.
Right?
For real.
And if you want to do it with a little curry aioli on top. No, I'm joking.
Okay. Best late night meal.
Salmon croquettes with smothered potatoes. I'm joking. Late night meal. I can eat street tacos all day, and I don't care if it's a roach mobile. I don't care what it is. I want a street taco. Yeah, street tacos. Yeah.
I dig it. Favorite taco? I mean, no, not favorite taco. Favorite dessert?
I'm not big on sweets, but creme brulee.
Creme brulee. All right. You already told me next place you want to travel. When you're not cooking, what's the favorite thing that Joi Bowers likes to do?
I like live music. You know, we like live music and doing this and chatting it up and bouncing great ideas off of our friends. Every time we quote unquote go out, Miracle, you and I, whatever, it always ends up being a business meeting somehow.
Hey man, because it's always in our mind.
It always ends up being a business meeting.
For real.
But yeah, drinks, friends, food, live music. Gotta love Texas for that.
Yes, ma'am. Favorite book that you've read?
Favorite book that I've read?
One of them.
That's hard to ask somebody that majored in English. Because it's just like I feel like I've read everything. How about authors? I'm a big Octavia Butler. She writes Afrofuturistic fiction, like you may be set in 2027 in the projects in Chicago, and it's a young Black girl kind of doing some futuristic things. But the futuristic kind of concept.
Okay. I got you. I like being probably like Asher camera like the whole time.
You have been on my camera probably.
You're the most important. You're the star of this show. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta put you in the camera. Last two questions. Okay. If you go to Houston right now, what's the first restaurant you're gonna go to?
Ew. No, I'm big on Googling what's new, what's fly, what's new.
I did. Google a lot too.
But they have a food truck there that I absolutely love, and I've seen them blow up here recently, and they've gotten a brick and mortar. I've been rocking with this food truck for a long time. Oh God, and I feel so bad. It's an Asian fusion. It's an Asian fusion, and they just recently. But crawfish in the Asian restaurants over there. Woo! They have this fried crab, mountain garlicky, spicy thingy that they have. So a lot of the Asian restaurants in Houston, I love. Because, you know, I'm an Asian boy in my past life.
For real. And then what is one of your favorite restaurants here in Dallas? D-Town.
Oh, I can't tell y'all my little duck-off spot.
Yeah, that one,
No, oh, God, what is it called? I went to it the other day, and it was sushi as well. I'm not good with restaurant names. So, I don't know. I'm not good with names. I can barely remember all my 190 students' names. But I like the Uptown area. I'm big on. Victor Tango's cool.
I've never been there.
I like Victor Tango.
But I Uber sometimes. I drop people off of there. So yeah.
Victor Tango's good.
It's there on Knox Henderson.
I like Victor Tango. I like that fusion. Anything that has like a fusion flair to it, I'm rocking with.
I dig it, man. That's super dope. Everyone be on the lookout for that brunch and networking mix. We gonna make that happen this year. Y'all hold us to it. She gonna hold me to it. We gonna, get some things on paper, get some things shifting, and tell them where they can find you on Facebook, Instagram.
Enjoi Meals on Facebook. Enjoi Lynn on Instagram, ENJOI. My name is Joi, Joi. Follow me on Facebook, personal page too, Joi Bowers, JOI, BOWRS. A lot of my pages, Enjoi Meals is where you can legitimately food things. Enjoi Lynn on Instagram is just kind of my chronicles as a brown Black girl running around the streets and eating great. And
eating good food.
Right? And rocking out with friends. Snapchat is Enjoi Lynn as well, ENJOILYN. And all that good stuff.
Hey, if y'all need a chef, y'all trying to throw like a private event or dinner
50 guests
party.
and under. I don't do weddings.
Right.
I fell on my face with a wedding.
That's a lot.
Never do it again.
For real. So yeah, definitely holler at this young lady. Very talented. I have ate her food. I need to eat something again. It's been too long.
I know, right? I was cooking it up in college. Somebody.
Yeah, you was. Yeah, we got it before you got popping it out there. We had the early, tasting that good food. Yeah, and that for being college students, it was eating good. Like, wow, this is amazing. Yeah. So definitely check her out. Follow her on Facebook, Instagram. Hit me up. Got her information also on my status on Facebook. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
This was fun.
Yeah, this is so awesome. Thank you.
You gotta go out here and get this photo out for real.
Okay,
too.
cool beans.
So yeah, this is Alston Collab Money Talk. I was joined by my guest today, Joi Bowers. Give her one more round of applause there. We're on the Fishbowl Radio Network, FBRN.US. Also streaming live on Facebook. We'll be right back. Hey, here's some southern music right here.